Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to our official Euro group stage predictions. This is part one of a two-part episode. In today's video, we're going to be doing groups A, B, and C. You guys make sure you follow along in the comments. And if you want to see both part two and all the other videos covering the European Championship here on Deadball TV, make sure you hit subscribe. We're going to start with Group A, naturally. So in first place, you guys can see the group on the screen here. I got Germany in first. Hungary in second, Switzerland third, and the Scots, unfortunately, in fourth place.
Wow.
Interesting.
Wow. Yeah, very interesting. You got the Scots in fourth place?
I got the Scots. Not only do I have the Scots in fourth place, I got them with 0, bro.
You got them with 0? I thought you were going to be bullish on the Scots.
If this
man
tournament was
hates Steve
happening
Clark.
in...
He hates
No, I actually love Steve Clark.
You think
I love the Scottish
Bannockburn
midfield.
You think Bannockburn is a fluke?
I mean, no. I think Bannockburn's top 3 Scot victories of all time. I mean, it's beaten Spain 2-0 recently, and then Bannockburn right under that. I highly rate that victory.
Oh, we're including...
But the problem with Scotland is they're not going to be playing any games at home this time around. And I think that's the only place where they would have a chance with a group that is this tough. I know it's a hot take saying 0 for the Scots, but I didn't think fourth was that hot. Pat, am I tripping? I was sure you guys were going to have Scotland fourth.
No, I got them 3.
Oh my God. Okay. Connor, give me the rundown.
Let me fill this out. About
Yeah,
Scotland?
who's 4? Who's 4? Name your fourth first.
My fourth one, and this one I struggled with because obviously I have... Well, should I tell you who I have first?
Tell me the whole damn group.
So I got Germany first. I just think that they have sort of a new look thing going on in the fact it's a home tournament. I think it's beyond reproach that they would find themselves in first. That being said, if there's another massive issue, like we've seen them do in some tournaments lately, I think there's an argument for second, but there's no shot that they're out of the top 2. So Germany first for me, and I'm not very concerned, or I feel very bullish in that pick. Then I've got Hungary second, Scotland third, and Switzerland fourth.
Is that your
You hate
order,
the
Jake?
Swiss?
Huh?
No.
No, I don't hate the
Yeah,
Swiss.
what-
I actually very much like the Swiss. If I was picking off of popularity, I'd probably, how much I like them, I'd probably have Switzerland first or second. I love Shaqiri. I know he's old, but I love Shaqiri.
Yeah, no. He ain't that guy anymore.
He ain't that guy.
What's your order, Jake?
So what was your order, Connor? Because
I
actually,
had-
you might have said mine.
I had Germany, Hungary, Scotland, Switzerland.
Yeah, that's what I had to.
Germany, Hungary, Scotland, Switzerland. Okay, so what's the argument for Scotland over Switzerland? I'm kind of shocked both of y'all went with that.
Here's my thing about Switzerland. I was looking at their games, and I've been going a lot
Okay.
off of records lately. Their last 4 games, they've only scored 1 and conceded 1. They're very pragmatic lately, which is very good. But if you look at goals where they score more, or games where they score more than 1, historically, like over the last year, they also concede a lot of goals. Like I'm talking, you either score 1 or none, or score 3 and concede 3. And I think they have a couple of exceptions where they win 3-0, but they're against very low-rated teams that haven't even qualified for the Euros. So I think the second that you get up against that Scottish midfield, even though Switzerland has a very good midfield, I think if you open up, you're gonna concede. You're gonna get bodied a little bit. And I don't think that's a good look for tourney football.
So on the Switzerland midfield, I actually think that that's their weakest position out of their midfield is the weakest in Group A, and I think that's where their downfall is going to be.
Okay.
I do agree. I mean, the Scott midfield is
It's
pretty
disgusting.
damn stacked. Yeah, McGinn, Christie, Gilmore, like that's pretty filthy. And I would even go so far as to say we're going fullbacks as 2. Robbo and either Tierney or Nathan Patterson. Probably the second best as well behind the German fullbacks in this group.
When I was looking at Scotland, just before we move off of them really quick, I think I'm pretty bullish on them.
We're not moving off of them.
Okay. I heard you going into something else, and I wanted to tag this in here. I'm feeling kind of bullish on them. Like I know I have them third. I really wanted to put them second, but like looking at them, A lot of these guys, listen, I know they're not playing at home. I get it. But a lot of these guys just have chips on their shoulder. And to me, that's like a recipe for get up for this tournament football. I don't know. I was looking at it and I was like, this could be a potential dark horse here. And this may be a howler. This may be an absolute howler. And I could totally be lambasted when we come back to this to review.
We never have howlers. Come on.
We never have howlers. Luton Town staying
I
up
don't know, bro.
after this
I
Nottingham
don't
Forest game
know.
I watched today. But hear me out. Look, John McGinn and McTominay, them two by themselves, two of the most, well, maybe not McTominay because he's a United guy, but McGinn, one of the most underrated players out there right now in the Prem.
Yeah.
Nobody
Yeah.
talks about him. This man wants to make a name for himself. He's not getting the kudos he deserves at Aston Villa. He's getting some, not nearly enough in my opinion. And you know, McTominay, McGinn's looking for a European spot in the Premier League. Okay, totally fine. I think these guys are going to want to get up for this. McTominay's finally playing a position that he feels comfortable in. He doesn't have to sit in the CDM. He's able to get a little bit more creative like he wants to in Scotland. I think outside of the 9 position, I'm really looking forward to what Scotland has to offer here. I really want to see these guys play chip on your shoulder, grind it out football.
I think when I look at Scotland, number one, their form is pretty bad coming in here.
Yeah.
They got 3 wins in the last 10.
Yeah.
Those are against Cyprus, Georgia, and Norway. They got 5 losses in there. They just got smacked down by the Dutch 4-0. And bro, they easily have the worst goalkeeper in this group. It is not even close.
Yeah.
Their goalkeepers are horrendous. And the center backs too. Like, I'm sorry, bro. If Liam Cooper is still starting at a European championship, it's worse than what the Hungarians got. It's far worse than the Swiss and the German CBs as well. I feel like that Swiss triangle, that Fabian Schär, Granit Xhaka, Akanji.
Yeah.
Hey, that's the real deal. And I don't think Che Mother effing Adams is going to score a goal against those guys. So I feel like it's a bad matchup for the Scots in all 3 of these. I don't know if the midfield is going to be enough. And what are we banking on? Scott McTominay to keep on scoring? I just don't see that happening. You're not beating the host. Hungary, no pun intended, those boys are starving.
Yeah.
They're starving for relevancy. They got a chip on their shoulder, and they have proven wins against big-ass teams in the last 2 years. And then the Swiss, who they just don't go down easy.
No, they don't go down easy.
And, I mean, is Scotland the favorite in any of these games? Chat,
No.
let us know.
No. They're not the favorite in any of these games. I think they're the clear underdog here based on their current form. Maybe if you look at rosters or what have you, you could make a different argument. But I think they are the underdogs here, right? For whatever reason, I think
Yes.
they get up for the Switzerland game. I think they're ready to go. I don't think they leave the group with 0. Or maybe I'm just blinded by bias here. I hope they don't, because I really want a result for them. I think it'd be a really great story. But you're right. They're missing a lot of pieces on pretty much every position except in every part of the field except the midfield. The midfield is solid. Can I talk about Hungary?
Sure. Talk about Hungary.
The reason
Because
that
I think there's a strong argument that they could take first.
Okay. Hold on. But the reason that I think that Scotland doesn't have a chance against Hungary is that Hungary is playing, like you said, these boys are starving. They've got a chip on their shoulder, and they play really excellent team ball. Like, I was looking, and every single one of these teams has superstars, right? But if you're looking at Hungary, you're not really looking at any one of these players and being like, you're a phenomenal talent. Like, you are.
It's probably Szoboszlai. That's the only one.
That's it. But even then, I wouldn't even argue that he's like a cornerstone of this team. They just play team ball.
Yeah.
They do really well there. And if you're looking at their record, dude, they're undefeated since September of 2022. They have not lost a game since September in 2022, the end of 2022. That's crazy.
Yep.
You're coming up,
Yep.
I mean, a year and a half right now. By the time the Euros get around, it's probably going to be a year and 3/4. It's just an insane record looking at that.
8 losses in 4 years for Hungary.
Unreal. The only thing that I
Yes.
would argue is that their competition in the last year has not been superb. You haven't even had like a Big Six team that you've played against, which I get it. I get it. The
No,
qualification,
but they did the double on Serbia.
which is nice. Yeah, but we know that Serbia's not
Frauds.
without its fault, not without their
Yeah.
faults. Okay,
We'll
or
get to them in
frauds.
Group C.
Yeah, Jesus, we're just going right for the throat. Yeah, I really like Hungary. I really like Hungary.
I think if this Euro was not hosted in Germany, I would take the Hungarians in this game. And this is a rivalry match. So this game might be one of the most intense in the entire group stage. Hungary, Germany.
You think they're still upset?
You think they don't remember? Yeah, I think they're still upset about it.
Damn, the Habsburgs. Shit.
I think they're still upset about it.
Oh my
Franz
God.
Ferdinand, dude. I don't think they're over that yet.
Oh,
I don't
God.
think they're over that. And this is a crazy stat. All time, Hungary's record against Germany: 12 wins, 12 draws, 13 losses. They have an even record with the Germans all time. Not
Wow.
many teams can say that.
No.
Jake, jump in here. What's the Hungarian bull case? Or bear case, but you got him second, so you probably don't have much of a bear case.
No, I don't really have a bear case. I mean, Connor kind of hit the nail on the head for me that it's all team ball. I think well, I just said there is no bear case. I think the one that I can think of is that I don't know, this Euro feels like it's very on the forefront. There's a lot of media attention behind it, and there usually is behind the Euros, but this one specifically, maybe that's just because my Twitter feed's more geared toward it these days, it seems like. But this is a very, very big tournament. I mean, Hungary haven't been relevant since the 80s. Could go to their head. They might not be mentally prepared for it.
I could see it going to their head, but it would be kind of shocking for it to go to their head because they still haven't done much of anything.
They have nothing to lose, so it shouldn't go to their head.
No, they don't.
I mean, some of their guys, I look at their roster and what teams they're playing for. I can even tell you how to pronounce some of these teams that the Hungarians play on. Like, I see a couple Germans or a couple guys that play in Germany, maybe a handful of guys play in England, one guy in the MLS, trash, and one guy in Korea.
Yeah.
Okay.
Damn.
MLS trash. Korea though.
And then some of these, it's like they're in the Albanian league, I feel like.
It's a physical league.
You know what?
It's a physical league, and that embodies this Hungarian team. They're extremely physical.
The way that people talk about Albania is how I think people should be talking about Hungary right now. But I kind of like that that's not the dialogue surrounding them. I kind of like that they're going in flying under the radar. It feels a little bit like Colombia.
What is the Hungarian dialogue? There is none.
There's not
that. No, that is an interesting comparison because I feel we're talking about the mental state. So Hungary has one superstar, Szoboszlai, and he gets all the media attention, right, which allows the other players to kind of fly under the radar, which can be a good thing. I feel like it's the same thing with Colombia and Diaz. Like every non-South American or non person who doesn't follow CONMEBOL could probably only name Diaz, and that's it on the Colombian
correct
team, right? So
correct,
and it's probably the same thing about Hungary, so they can just focus on ball.
Yes, and what I really like about Hungary versus some of these other teams that we're going to talk about is, like I said, they have wins against really good teams. In the last round of Nations League, they didn't lose to the Germans in 2 games. They beat them in Budapest and then drew them away. They're one of, okay, here's another fact. 5 teams have beaten England at home since 2018. That was Italy in the Euro final on pens, Denmark in the Nations League, Spain in the Nations League, Brazil in the recent friendly, and Hungary. When Hungary beat them 4-0 at Wembley Stadium, which is by far their worst loss at home in a decade. Now, I'm pretty sure, I don't remember, it was a very rotated England squad, and they were kind of experimenting. But still, you went into England's house, you beat that ass 4-0. You know, they were 1 point away from going to the Nations League semifinals last time around. They finished 1 point below Italy. So we're talking about how good their record is when they were in a group with the Germans, Italians, and the English in the last round of Nations League. Like, that ain't bad. And there's some Euro qualifying groups that are trash. Hungary's was not one of them. And again, they performed very, very well. So I think I said it when I did the group reaction with Albert Kim. Hungary is my dark horse team for this tournament. I think they have a very low profile. I think they have a very good midfield, probably the most underrated goalkeeper, Golashi, in the entire tournament. Ain't nobody talking about him because he's Hungarian and plays at Leipzig. So neither of those teams get talked about. And the tournament's right next door. So I expect hella Hungarian fans at every game.
Yeah.
And that game, dude, I'm just saying, bro. That the Axis Derby, I'm so excited to see that go down.
But their kits are trash.
Yeah, but the badge is hard.
Which one?
Definitely the older one, the one that's more vertical. But yeah, that's weird. Somebody let us know why they got 2 badges on the jersey. I don't understand.
It's paying
this, but
homage
do think-
to Austria-Hungary.
Oh, yeah.
There it is.
Really? If we just got Scotland out of here and threw Austria in, now that's a group.
Holy cow. There would be U.S.
that's a
intervention.
Yeah. General Patton is coming back for that.
Christian
That'd be
Pulisic
crazy.
and a trench gun would come in.
Let's talk about Germany really quick.
Captain America
because-
would be like, not without me, boy.
Please, I hope somebody shows up in a Captain America fit in the stands.
He's gonna get murdered.
I think Germany is arguably the hardest team to call this entire tournament.
I'm thinking Italy's the hardest for me.
Okay, that's another one for me. That it's like I don't know what we're gonna see.
I would argue that Germany's the hardest over Italy. Because on
Germany over
paper,
Italy?
man, I mean, they should not be what they've been doing.
No, they should.
They should not be down in the poo-poo
Not
shit.
at all.
No, but and I agree with you, but the German case has been pretty bullish lately, right? Is that purely because of their last 2 wins, or is it because the tournament is in Germany? Like what is all this pro-Germany stuff that I've been hearing about? What is going on here?
I'm gonna say it's a combo of the last window. I'm gonna say it's a combo of Nagelsmann re-signing, and I'm gonna say it's the German teams kicking ass in the European competitions.
And
think
Tony
that's it.
Cruz, baby. He's back.
And Tony Cruz is
He's
back,
back.
and of course they're hosting it. So
He's ready for
And-
round 2, like most Germans, right, Jake?
So there are only 2 examples in the history of the Euro where the host did not make the semifinal. Minimum. That was in 2008 and 2012. Ironically, both of those were like joint hosted tournaments. That was Poland, Austria, Ukraine, and Switzerland, and all 4 went out in the group stage. So if you host, you basically make the final or you go out in the group stage. If Germany gets grouped here, I mean, oh my gosh. I mean, bring back West Germany. Like it's
Jeez.
like we really need a hard reset here. Like
I don't think
I'm
any of
just
the other groups
saying-
are going to be this funny. We better give Italy the Mussolini treatment the second we get
If
there.
they
Otherwise,
get grouped,
they're not. They're not getting grouped. There's no. I don't.
there's
think
no way. No,
There's
exactly.
no way.
There's no way. If an attack of Jamal Musiala and Florian Wirtz and Füllkrug and Leroy Sané doesn't make the semis at
Hold on.
home,
Now Musiala is injured. I think Musiala comes back. Is he injured until early July, or am I thinking somebody else?
I did see. I thought he was
I think he's injured till.
timeline like unknown. was
Okay,
what I saw.
what I saw was he's either coming back late May or early July. I may be
I'm
getting my
looking right now.
players confused here.
they'll give him that German super serum.
Oh,
So it'll be okay.
expected return late June.
Yep.
Oh, so he missing at least 1 game.
The point is he's an intangible.
Yes,
But even without him, the argument can still be made. And it's a strong one. I mean, yeah, Florian is an insane talent. And
Yeah, but he hasn't shown what he can do in a German jersey yet. I feel like Musiala
okay,
has.
definitely,
Yes.
definitely. But even outside of that, Germans have been balling out in all European competition. I mean, we almost had a Der Klassiker final. And the only reason we didn't is because Real Madrid is Real Madrid, right?
Because Neuer spilled a shot. Yeah, that's literally why we didn't get Der Klassiker.
But still, the weaker of the two German teams is in the final. And
Mhm.
they did not have an easy way, an easy path to that final.
No.
No.
Every indicator, every piece of logic points to the Germans taking first. I love the Hungarians to wrap up Group A. I think they're going to be a nightmare for anybody in the knockouts. The Scots, man, it's a very curious case for me because I look at the team and I think they genuinely are better now than they were in Euro 2020. But I just think it's a bad group for them, man.
Yeah, it is. It is. I'm still bullish on them, and whether it be bias or what have you,
Yeah.
I'm still gonna go with Scotland. I'm going.
Yeah. I actually really respect that you guys put Scotland 3 because I also think the Swiss current manager Murat Yakin, not a fan, bro.
What a great
Not a
name, though.
fan. Yes, great name. The Swiss, they got that Pope pedigree. They've been protecting that man for a long time, and they just always seem to find a weird ass way of making the knockouts. Like
Yeah.
they're round of 16 quarterfinals merchants at every World Cup,
Look, man,
every Euro.
they're dogs. They're like Shaqiri.
Yeah.
It's like we're gonna fly under the radar and we're gonna punch you in the mouth. Shaqiri
Mhm.
ain't got no neck, so he ain't got the vision to see past that. But tunnel vision, one direction, like a warthog or a pit bull, just one objective, and that's the quarters
Okay.
or round of
That's
16.
Group A, guys. You guys let us know what order you think this group is finishing down below in the comments. Let's take it to Euro Group B. I already gave y'all my lineup, my predicted standings for Group A. Jake, why don't you give us your head-to-toe Euro Group B?
Croatia, Spain, Italy, the Albanians.
Ain't no way the Croats in first.
Now it's
No.
acceptable. Huh? Now it's
No.
acceptable. Huh?
Why in God's name do you think Croatia is finishing first?
Purely my
Blind.
Croatian bias heritage.
Vibes. Oh my god. You got points? You got a prediction for how many points they take?
I can back you up on that because while I don't have
7.
them first, I'm very bullish.
What's your order, Connor?
I got Spain first, Croatia, Italy, and Albania. And I'm really upset
Oh my
putting Italy.
God. Damn, I got Spain, Italy, Croatia, Albania.
Hear me out. Let me make a case for Croatia.
Well, let Jake make the case for
Oh, yeah.
Croatia,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
then
yeah.
you can talk about
I'll back
Italy,
you up here.
since he gassing these boys up, gassing his old ass team up.
They are old. They are old.
They're not all old.
No,
No, they're not old.
but
No.
their main key figures are old. I just think that they show up in tournaments. Spain has not showed up in the past few tournaments. Honestly, I don't have much more to say than that on that.
I agree with you
disagree.
about I agree with you about the Spain thing. While they did have a good
How?
run, hold on. But I'm trying to get there. Can I have them up?
Nations
My
League
turn.
winners,
My turn.
Euro semifinalists.
Hold
But
on.
continue. Okay.
Hold on.
Okay.
Let's talk about the World Cup then.
On
I think
flukes.
Morocco shut them down.
Okay.
Morocco shut them down. And I think these young lads have a way of getting in their own head, much like Barcelona, right? I think it's sort of the same modus operandi. It's very much we're going to play these young guys, and if they can't find their way around the solution, I don't think they can adapt very well. Whereas Croatia, I think can. I think they can. And if you want my honest opinion, I think Croatia's loss to Argentina in the World Cup was kind of a fluke. I think while they weren't prepared for that, I think you run it back, it's a much closer game.
I don't know, man. I think Croatia, I totally agree with y'all. If you see them in a knockout game, you better be scared. You better be scared. But in the group stage, I think they can be got. I think they'll beat Albania, and then I think they'll lose both games to Spain and Italy. I think they'll go through as a third place team. But I got them with 3, y'all.
I think that they have a better opportunity to beat Spain than Italy, but that is completely dependent on how Italy shows up. And I told you already, I really don't know how they're going to show up. But Italy, we're either going to get high-flying, beautiful Italian football with a very pragmatic and strong, aggressive defense, and
or poo-poo,
or it's just going to be disorganized poo-poo, just like you said, Jake. I completely agree. I think it's completely dependent on Italy. Now, we will see how that goes. I think Croatia does beat Albania, but I compare them a lot to Switzerland. They're gonna be tough to beat, right? It's going to be
the Albanians or the Croats?
The Croats. The Croats.
Okay.
I think they're going to be really tough to beat. And now Albania, if you want to get into Albania, let's do it because we want to keep this pod a little shorter. Albania, dude, they are the wild card to me. I've been hearing all this marketing about them. Everybody's like, look out for Albania, look out for Albania. I have not been able to watch them that much, so I don't know what to write home in regards to them. But the general consensus, and what I have written down, is that they're quietly one of the toughest in Europe. They are true underdogs through and through.
Yes.
Whoever they beat here does not advance. If they take points away from somebody here, I'm going to say even in a draw, I'm going to say you don't advance. Right there. Full stop, flat out.
I was so close. And I might even update my opinion that Albania might beat Croatia.
Okay. I do not respect the team who loses against Chile. So let's just be
First
real.
off,
hold on.
First off, how dare you? That was Ricardo Gareca.
Hold on.
All right, he handing out 3 pieces for fun. First off, check yourself.
He is.
Second,
that boy looked like Popeyes. He said, "Come get it. We got the 5-piece bucket if you're looking for it. Discount it."
Before that game against Chile, they conceded 5 goals in 9 games. Like this, including smacking the shite out of the Czechs 3-0 and the Poles 2-0. But then, this is the weird thing about Albania.
Down bad.
This is why
both teams.
The Czech Republic are not down bad. They're the Poles, they're finished. But the Czech Republic, they have hope at this Euro. And their group is not that bad. They can draw. We'll get to them in part 2. Hit subscribe. All right, but for this video,
we got
talk about Albania right now.
Wind them up, Jake.
They drew the Faroe Islands. They drew the Faroe Islands. They got
that's a huge accomplishment. Holy fuck.
By Chile, and they lost to the Swedes, who are also finished. So that's what I'm saying. Like they're so hot and cold. They seem to play up.
Okay, you're saying that they're cheeks, basically. They're double cheeked up coming into Group B.
You know what? I'm changing. You know what? They beating that Croatian ass, bro. They're gonna beat these guys 2-0.
No way.
There is a way.
Let them know.
Bookmark this video, bro. Somebody clip this.
You look like you wear pajamas,
pulled
boy.
for Albania so hard in my life, bro. I cannot wait.
They got that uniform on.
Drop Vardiol to the ground
at the Madrid McDonald's drive-thru.
A shot bottom right.
All you missing is the hat and the headset.
Oh my god, dude! Borja is about to expose everybody. And let's stop acting like Croatia's attack is not anything better than poor. I'm sorry, Kramaric and Pekovic, I just don't see it. They're not booty cheeks, but they're not that great either.
The Croatian attack is their weakest point, and we've seen it time and time again. Like what? How many more examples do we need of them getting up for competition in tournament football? Like somehow they always find a way. The counterattack is going to be
in
insane.
2014. They got grouped, and in the last European Championship, they were not very good. They went out of the round of 16. They weren't very good.
Against who?
They're like Spain.
Who is?
And they ain't going to let it happen
again.
And
who's in the group? And who's in the group? Spain.
And they ain't going to let it happen again.
And the defending title holders, Italy.
I think it is.
It ain't going to happen again.
It is all contingent on how Italy shows up. Because let's be very clear. Spain is a young team. Spain is a good team. Everybody has them picked first. There's a world in which Italy shows up correct, like they did in the last Euros, and they go out first. If you really want me to get crazy and hot here, let's talk about it. The Spanish tiki-taka could get bodied by some no-nonsense Italian defenders. If you want to start
Some
Ferran
marinara.
Torres, they're gonna marinara your
He
ass.
won't start.
Okay, no, but the
He won't
point
start.
stands. If you show up and you have, then who's starting over Ferran Torres? Tell me, what's his name?
I genuinely think Lamine Yamal is going to start.
You think Lamine Yamal is going to start?
I think he's going to start.
If he
And I think they're going to
starts,
start Nico Williams left wing. And if it's not him,
That's-
maybe Danny Olmo.
if he starts, that's the
On the right
downfall
wing.
of Spain right there.
Man, I think this Spain team, I'm going to be very clear. If
He
they
will be the
score a
youngest
goal-
player to ever be grouped. Oh, I can't wait to see the headlines.
And this, bro, and Modric's going to be the
Youngest
oldest
group.
player to take 0 in a group stage at the Euro. Like, I'm telling you, man, if this Spanish team scores on you, you're done. You're done. Now, that's a problem with this team because Morata's a starting 9. And let me tell you, as an Atleti fan, there is no guarantee that man scores goals in this
No, there's
tournament.
not. No, there's not. No.
To be honest, I would start Joselu from Real Madrid. I'm not even kidding. I would start him, and I would bring Morata off the
Anybody
bench.
but Morata. Anybody but Morata.
Yep.
I'm telling you, if you start Morata against Croatia, it's a tough game. That's a
Guardiola's going to
gift.
pocket him.
Guardiola's going to pocket him.
Shit, he's
Now-
going to score on him.
I mean, the way he's scoring this season, he might score outside the box. That is
We'll see.
Croatia's their secret trap card is the defense, and honestly, Livakovic is going to have to have another tournament of his life. He was unplayable at the World Cup. A guy who almost lost his starting position, then turned into 2014 Memo Ochoa at the World Cup. I haven't been following his career since. I don't know if he's doing well at his club, but if he cannot recreate that form, Croatia's going to lose games, man. That's how I see it.
Yeah.
That's how I see it. In Spain, let's not act like the Spain team isn't stacked. They're a bunch of
It is
pass
stacked on
merchants,
paper.
but they're stacked.
It's stacked
It's
on
stacked
paper.
It depends on how they control that. And my argument for Croatia is that with the Croatian midfield that they have, with Modric giving you a solid 30 minutes, like I'm talking prime Modric, you got that for 20 to 30 minutes. If you're able to capitalize with that, I think 1, you've got great leadership, and 2, you can get results with that. I'm kind of banking on that for my number 2 pick. Now, again, this is completely contingent on Italy, because if you want to talk about stacked rosters, we got Vicario, Jorginho, Scalvini, Bastoni, and Chiesa. Chiesa's been really quiet. We haven't been talking about him, but he hasn't been bad. Hampered by injuries. Di Lorenzo, but dude, Scalvini, the Atalanta boys. Nobody's talking about Atalanta. But let's talk about that quiet, what was it, the 4-1, 4-0 that they handed to Marseille?
I think 4-1 Ag, yeah.
Let's not forget about that. That, because I think if we're looking back, I think I had Marseille picked to advance. I was wrong as hell on that one.
Roma were 30 seconds away from ending Leverkusen's unbeaten run.
100%. Don't sleep on
This is a good-ass team.
Everybody's talking about the Bundesliga. We had our Christian Pulisic moment, and we haven't talked about Serie A since. They have not gone away. They've been quietly producing, right? Let's go back to that. It's time to talk about it again. The Italian defense is not what it once was, but what it's looking like, and what arguably could be scarier, is a bunch of no-names that nobody's talking about in the media that have something to prove. That may be even worse.
Yeah, and they're not even no names, I would argue.
No, they're not
These are
no-names.
solid players. They're
are solid
just not
players.
like
Underrated, I'll
when
say.
when you're, I'm looking at their lineup right now. I would argue their biggest name on the Italy roster is Donnarumma in terms of like media presence or like superstar power.
I can say that.
Biggest name.
Maybe Udogi.
No. If he played for Man U, yeah, but I don't
Well,
think they
I'm
really talk
talking
about
this season.
destiny like that.
No, but you know who they are talking about.
Well,
The
no,
Italians-
nobody
the
talks about
Italians-
Serie A.
The Italians love Chiesa.
Bro, you know what? It's probably Tonali. because of the Newcastle move and all the betting shit.
I can't believe I forgot about
Not because of what's going on the field.
right.
In terms
But
of superstar,
if you're talking superstar, I think all the Italians want to talk Chiesa.
okay, you're right. I
Yes,
said media
yes.
presence. Yeah, yes,
Yeah,
yes.
yeah.
But Donnarumma
Tonali
is
for
the
media
biggest name. Yeah, Tonali. Okay, for media. I can't believe I forgot about that guy.
Bastoni is pretty well respected, but I mean that's the point though. That's what we're getting at with this Italian side is not only are the players really freaking good, they could take 9 from this group. They have the
Okay.
potential to do that and win the tournament. Also, how often do you see a defending title, a defending champion get so little respect going? I haven't seen this since I talked about Qatar at the Asian Cup.
Damn, you're
And that's
making me
my bad.
reconsider.
You know what happened?
You're making
You know
me
what happened
reconsider right
is
now.
I
Reconsider
would
what?
say media in general took their performance in the world or the performance qualifying for the World Cup, and that's what they've just been riding with.
Mhm.
There have been no game-breaking, results happening lately. I mean, except for the fact if you count Ecuador, Venezuela, and the Netherlands, all beaten in the last year. But no, for some reason they're still keeping the tenure that they had after they didn't qualify for the World Cup, as if the
Correct.
Italians aren't doing anything to prepare for that. Don't
Correct.
forget, Italy has been having China install massive amounts of train infrastructure all throughout their country. If you think the FA is sleeping, you're foolish. Something's happening. There's something in the works. We're gonna talk. We talked about Germany. We talked about Cruz coming back for round 2. Well,
Okay.
let's talk about Mussolini. Let's talk about the Mussolini attitude.
He's gonna march the streets of Rome again?
What are we gonna say about him?
Yeah.
What are we
No,
gonna
it's
say?
It's the Mussolini
Oh,
attitude. There's always something going on
my
underneath.
God.
And I'm telling you, they're not going to go quietly into the Swiss Alps like they did in the second.
I think they're cooking.
44.
I think they're cooking.
They're not
something
getting
for sure.
rebuffed
Okay.
by the Greek defense
Okay.
like they
Not
did in
getting.
1941. No, that's not happening, dude.
Okay, you guys got me to reconsider
There's no
my grouping.
Oki Part 2, baby.
You know,
that ain't going down.
We had to bring up
Yeah.
the World
Oh,
War
yes.
II analogy, and now Jake's on board. Here we go. That's
right.
how you know
Hey,
he's
you-
an intellectual.
Yeah, that's fair. All right, revised grouping for me: Croatia, Italy, Spain, Albania. Boo!
Oh,
Yes,
oh,
sir,
yeah.
baby.
That's
Oh,
insane.
he's mad.
He's always mad.
oh.
That's just insane. The only way y'all are right about Spain is if they pass 6,000 times and just don't shoot, which is probable. You know, that's an option.
Possible. I don't know if it's I
That-
don't know if it's
Mhm.
probable.
That they pass Merchant.
I shouldn't have said
and-
probable. It's possible, yeah.
And you know, what if De La Fuente plays all the young kids?
That's a
I
good
mean,
thing.
they are. They
Get
are.
those old ass Spanish guys out. Like honestly, their best players are all like U25. Anyways,
He plays all the U21s. I think experienced sides like Italy and Croatia will spank them if they play inexperienced.
But these
they
but
already
but
won a
to
Nations League.
Jack's point, these younger guys do have pretty excellent presence in tournament football. Like they have experience there.
And they already flopped they were part of that team that flopped against Morocco at the World Cup. They know what that's like.
Right, but just
And then they
because
responded. They won the Nations League and they got a
Yeah.
trophy. I'm not saying
was-
they're unbeatable.
Yeah.
That was 2023, bro. Shit,
Yes,
we
that
don't
was
look at
last year.
stats. We don't look at historical facts here.
We don't do that.
I hope Croatia gets absolutely trounced
If-
in this
if-
group. Like it's gonna be
He is so
amazing to
mad.
see, bro.
If
my
Jake-
God, he's so mad.
they're gonna squeak into the knockouts and then just get beat down by Hungary, bro. It's gonna be incredible.
Shit, I might change my Twitter handle to like Jakovic or something. That would go hard.
I'm surprised you haven't made your profile picture literally Josko Vardiol with a mask on playing at the
Dude,
World
and you
Cup.
have to. So,
Like,
Jake, you know what you got to do in order to make this come true is you got to fly to Europe. You got to find Vardiol at the city training grounds, and you just got to get a bottle and right here on the right side of his face,
Yeah,
so he does have to wear the mask.
just slap him real hard.
Because there's no Messi to terrify mask Vardiol this time.
I wouldn't be surprised if he makes team of the tournament again. I love Vardiol.
Even if they
I
get
just
knocked
think-
out in the group.
No, that would eliminate him. Unless
He would
he's
have to
like,
go down for that, yeah.
unless he scored in every game and Croatia still went out. Like, if he had a hat trick against Albania, but they still went out, maybe he would get in there. But I think the cycle has to end eventually. It ended with Germany in 2018. It's got to end eventually with this team, especially in this group. It's going to be really tough. And last thing we should say about Italy, which I feel like is worth mentioning, is they have the best manager in this group as well, in Spalletti.
Yep.
Who's trying to kind of bring back. We saw Napoli go to tatters when that man left. Don't
No, that
be
was a
surprised if
massive
he's a
pickup.
masterclass.
That was a massive pickup for the Italians, and there's people still quiet on them. But let's move on to Euro C, because I think B we've
Okay.
talked enough about. We'll throw the rest of it behind the Patreon.
All right, Connor, you give us your Group C.
Thank God, the one that I
right now.
prepared the least, I have to take point on. Number 1, England. 2, Denmark. 3, Serbia, and 4, Slovenia. And honestly, 3 and 4 are interchangeable. I think it totally
Interesting.
depends on Serbia.
I got Slovenia third. I got Serbia last.
I don't blame you. I don't blame you.
You hate the Serbs, huh?
They are the Jamaica of Europe.
Yeah. Wow. Really good analogy, but nowhere near as athletic.
I'm gonna agree with the first 2 spots. I'm gonna say Slovenia is 4th. Or is that what you said?
That's what I had. Not yet. Not.
I'm the only one with them in third. I think Slovenia, I think they're going to get a draw in that first game against Denmark, lose to England, and then I think they'll beat Serbia on the final match day. I have like a slight bull argument for the Slovenians. I think that, one, I was very impressed that in the qualifying, they literally finished even on points with Denmark with 22. Now, granted, the group was cheeks. The group was cheeks, and it is hilarious that they both got drawn into the same group as well. And in the last international window, they beat Portugal 2-0. They gave Roberto Martinez his first loss as Portugal manager on an 11-win streak. Now, Roberto Martinez is a fraud, so take that as you will. But I still think it's important that they've demonstrated recently, again, going back to Hungary, that they can beat good teams, and they don't need to be like home merchants to do so. And this team has no pressure at all. No pressure at all, and probably like the second best. Okay, hold on. Third best center forward in this group with Benjamin Sesko, the 20-year-old who already has 11 goals for the national team at 20 years old. I mean, he's what Højlund thinks he is, or at least what Man U thought Højlund was when they bought him. So I expect that man to go off.
I kind of think Højlund's going to go off. Speaking of,
if they start him over Kasper Dolmand.
Yeah, that's true. You mean Dolberg?
Dolberg, yeah.
Dolberg?
Wait,
yeah,
Kasper
I feel...
Dolberg? Yeah,
Dolberg?
Dolberg, yeah. I mixed Dolberg and Hjulmand, the manager, into Dolmand.
Look,
I'd say every other team has 0 to lose. It's
the Danes got something.
It's the English show. No, it's the England show.
No, they do.
They do. Group. No,
you were.
I think the Danes,
one of the worst teams at the last World Cup. You got bounced back.
See, the Danes got short-term or I would say the average football viewer's memory of Danish football, they won't even remember that. Now, all eyes will be on England. So I think getting them second is a must. Having them second is a must.
I wouldn't be surprised if the Danes finished third. I do think they'll go through, but what I've noticed with this team is they kind of have to be the underdog in a lot of cases to play well. Like, I think we saw this at the World Cup.
They don't like playing possession football. They don't like.
They don't. Exactly. They don't really want to do that. I mean, they couldn't break down Australia, and they couldn't break down Tunisia.
To be
and they
fair,
got bodied by France.
To be fair, though, Australia gave Argentina a game. Australia was
True
playing very, very well. That's one of my points.
That Jackson Irvine ball. God damn.
That Jackson Irvine ball. The mustache was too strong, and I get
the Keanu Bacchus. It's a real thing, but I think Slovenia is going to sit back against them. And so that's why I think it's going to be a draw. I either think Denmark's not going to be able to score and it's just going to be a stalemate, or it's like a 1-1.
Are these going to be very boring games?
I think these are going to be this is going to be the most boring group at the Euros, in my opinion,
compared to the first two groups that we covered.
I don't know, man. I think Slovenia Serbia is going to be very entertaining. They played each other recently. I do think Serbia won both of those games, or at least won one and drew the other. I think Denmark England's going to suck. I think every England game, if we want to transition to England, is just unfortunately going to be a bit of a snooze fest. And they drop in points in one game. I don't think they're going to lose, but there's no way they get 9. There's no way they get 9.
Viewers, get ready. Here comes the 30-second segment over, or 30-minute segment over England. England, dude, it's going to be boring. I think that there's potential for a good game against Denmark because I feel like England might even sit back, and it's totally dependent on how Denmark responds. Right?
That would be pathetic.
That would be pathetic. But they sat back against the United States. It was one of the slowest games I've ever seen. It was ridiculous.
And it is kind of a rivalry game, to your point, a little bit. I feel like the Danes, never forget the pillaging of Wessex and all that stuff. That was a real thing.
I could see Southgate being like, they've got Eriksen. Jesus Christ, what are we gonna do? What are we gonna do? He's not gonna start Bellingham.
If he doesn't start Bellingham.
That was a little over dramatic. If he doesn't start Bellingham, I don't know what to tell you. But
yeah, that's crazy, bro.
That is crazy. But I do think they'll be overly pragmatic against Denmark, just like they're overly pragmatic against just about everybody.
I agree. Man, England, I think it's going to come down to the defense.
The English defense?
Line. Yes.
Yeah.
That back line is going to be the difference between getting effing grouped and going to the final, baby.
There's no way that they get grouped. It's physically impossible. Harry Maguire is going to look like a stud against Serbia. Harry Maguire is going to find a renaissance in his career against Serbia. I'm calling it right now. He might even score a goal. And then he's going to be terrible.
I'd be surprised if he starts. I'd be surprised if he
starts too, but
I wouldn't be. I 50% chance he starts.
It should be Big D John Stones back there.
That's still surprising. Yes.
It should be Big D, Branthwaite, and John Stones. That's who it should be.
Dude, that's
a back three?
What are you going to do against those CBs?
Oh, and
think of the aerial threat.
Kyle Walker wingback?
Shit.
Yes, bro. Kyle Walker wingback. Let's go, baby.
No, they're going to get Trent.
Who's on the other side? Ben Chilwell?
Well, that's a liability. That's where things break down with Jack's back three idea. I got a question for y'all. How many times do you think England has taken 9 points in the group stage of any tournament?
Oh, can I? I'm gonna talk some shite.
3 times in any tournament.
I was gonna say 3.
Twice.
Oh!
They've done it once in the Euros.
Damn,
that was 1968 was the last time they took 9 at the Euros.
That's before TVs.
Yes. And they also did it at the 1982 World Cup. So It's been 40 effing years since they took 9. I'm telling you, they're going to draw Denmark or Serbia. Because I think Serbia the last game? No, Slovenia is the last. It could be Slovenia. They could have 6 points and Southgate's going to be like, guys, just don't get injured. Go out there and just pass it around.
Is there an argument that they should try to lose one of these group stage games? Just get it out of their system.
Vibes?
Just get it out of their system.
No. Lose? No. I mean, they just lost to Brazil at Wembley.
There's an argument that you put it into panic mode immediately so that you play better football later on.
Yeah, you get it out of the way.
Because what you need,
same thing that happened with Argentina, right?
Exactly. You need the lads to sell on Southgate now, so they start taking their own creative license later.
Yeah,
and left back, you start Raheem Sterling. I'm just gonna say that
it's very similar. All the eyes were on Argentina. Everyone was expecting them to beat every team, double digits. Them losing to Saudi Arabia, it's just like, like they weren't written off, but they were able to recollect. And maybe England need that.
Whereas I think England will be a foil in that situation because I think Argentina bought more into Scaloni after that loss, and I think England needs to sell on Southgate in order to progress.
You got to think the pressure right now on England is insane.
It's
like
massive.
genuinely anything less than winning is a failure. The final is a failure if you lose.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
You could lose.
So like I guess
you could lose to France in pens the same way that France lost to Argentina. It's still a failure. The
Yeah.
expectation
I
is-
know
Yeah.
every
Yes.
English social media manager is already staying up till 2 a.m. drafting up the congratulatory Instagram post or the so sorry guys we lost another final.
They're doing
post.
the PR teams are going crazy right now.
Yeah. I mean, they have to gear up this early. They have to gear up this early because that's how
Yeah.
many eyes are on them right now.
They're also drafting their applications for England coaching, which is foolish. It's a waste of money because Southgate won't leave.
maybe to support what Jake said earlier, I think I don't know if Denmark has pressure. I think Kasper Hjulmand, the manager, has pressure. Like if he gets grouped again, honestly, I think they might get rid of him.
I don't think
Because
they
the
will.
Denmark side, I don't know if he's a Danish guy too. Like
Look,
I think he's very well supported.
look at their back line. I'm looking at it. Anderson, Jelert from Copenhagen. Like I know Copenhagen isn't an incredible team, but they had a really good run for them in the Champions League.
Yeah, and Anderson a
not bad.
dog.
Anderson is
No,
a
and
dog. And honestly, I don't know how much Vestergaard plays, but Leicester City just had a banger of a season in the Championship, which don't turn your nose up at it.
I'll probably put Christensen if I had to guess. Him
Yeah.
and Anderson in the back. But I don't know. I feel like they need to do something. They got to finish second and probably win the first knockout game as well for Denmark to be a success. The Serbs are like fighting history because they just keep flopping. Serbia they're a fascinating team. They're a fascinating team. Like they're averaging over 2 goals a game. But then you look at, I mean, they got beat down
They
4-0 by Russia.
Yeah.
Russia, who have been
They've
playing
got-
themselves for 2
They've
years.
got the farmers and the
They're
cow
like-
herders in the back.
They're like the Brooklyn Nets with KD or the Phoenix Suns with KD or the Celtics. Just really good regular season players, but the second that the quality of play goes that little bit extra and people start playing that tournament defense, they just can't crack the code.
No, that back line is pretty poor as well. Like I can't get the Cameroon game at the World Cup out of my head where they're winning 3-0 and then you let Cameroon come back and tie the game 3-3. I'm sorry. That's just it's inexcusable.
I will say the one thing that the Serbs got going for them is their badge is fucking hard.
Yes. Yes.
Could be the hardest that we've seen thus far. It could be harder than Hungary's.
It's up there. It's top 3 in Europe. Yep.
I'll be the deciding factor on this.
I don't know, man. It's the Serbs, like I said, just like Jamaica, I need to see results before I start saying these guys are going to do anything.
The Serbian badge does go hard. It makes me want to put on half plate armor and grab a pike and go die for my country. That's what it makes me want to do.
It makes me want to charge a British rifle square formation with a lance.
I might get shot 3 times. I'm taking one of them with me.
Mm-hmm. If my horse gets shot beneath me, I'm charging on foot.
Yep.
And that's glory to Mother Serbia. That's all you need to say.
But when was the last time these boys have done something though? Like
The last time
Yugoslavia?
Serbia, yes, is Yugoslavia.
It was like
No-
1982
no joke.
last time they did something.
No joke.
1976 they got 4th place.
Wow.
That's insane, man. Dude, they didn't even qualify from 2000 to 2024.
That's insane. That I didn't realize.
6 Euros in a row you didn't qualify for. Wait,
That's a terrifying statistic.
5. But that is tragic. That is tragic. And again, bro, I just think the Slovenians, man, I think they're just chilling there. I think they're just chilling. Nobody's talking about them at all. Their manager,
But I think
Matsaz Kek, weird name. He's lost 12 games
it's offensive.
in 53.
That's impressive.
That's insane.
I-
12 of
yeah.
53. Berhalter doesn't have that record in CONCACAF.
No. I think their lack of expectation could go either way for them.
What if Oblak breaks his foot? Are they toast?
Yes. Yeah. I think it's as simple as that.
Yeah.
I think him or Sesko goes down. I mean,
We've been praising them this entire time, but yeah, they lose one single player.
They're
getting-
delicate. Fabergé egg vibes.
oh gosh, they are Fabergé eggs. I'm gonna go ahead and end the episode there. Guys, this has been fun. Like I said, make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel so you don't miss the Euro Part 2 that we're gonna be dropping, and then probably a couple other European related previews as well. If you guys want to stay up to date on everything that's coming out on the channel, make sure you follow us on social media. The links are in the description of this video. And if you want to talk about the Euro with other people in the Deadball TV community, you can jump in the Discord, which can also be found in the description of this video. Give the podcast a 5-star rating for listening on streaming platforms. Drop a like if you're watching on YouTube. We'll see y'all in the next one.